Hey yo, welcome to Lip Work. I'm Danae.
I'm Caddy.
I'm Valaire.
And this is our first taping. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to jump right into our first topic. We're kind of late, but it's about Simone and her 9 to 5 versus entrepreneur and why she didn't want to date a nigga that,
a man that has a 9 to 5 versus a man that works the entrepreneur lifestyle. Which is different.
What's the backstory on that?
So the backstory is she was doing an interview with Nick Cannon, and he asked her about something about the type of guy she dates, and she said she can't date a guy that works a 9 to 5 because basically he's not going to understand her lifestyle, which I agree with, and I feel like it's a personal preference because. That's just like saying, oh, I don't want to date a short guy, I don't want to date a tall guy. She has a personal preference, but people were
commenting and
over exaggerating.
Yeah, basically saying like, don't forget where you came from. You came from a 9 to 5 XYZ. But once you become an entrepreneur, even if you worked a 9 to 5, because I worked a 9 to 5 for like 10 years, 12 years, 15 years. Not trying to write it out there like that, but anyway. And as soon as I became an entrepreneur, it's a completely different lifestyle. Like it's not a clocking in, clocking out type of thing. Like it's not a corporate. You can call corporate, you can call management and try to figure shit out. Like if you're an entrepreneur, you got to figure everything out by yourself every day, all day. Whether you wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and you don't go to sleep until 2 a.m. It ain't the same. Like your mate. If your mate works the 9 to 5 and they coming home at 6 o'clock, they don't got nothing else to do, but you still filling orders or
he gonna be
doing
upset.
research or
but I feel like that's
that.
also dependent if you don't have an understanding individual. Like you need a good partner.
That's
so I feel like you got to pick a good partner. If you got a good partner, they should understand whatever your lifestyle is, whether it be 9 to 5 or entrepreneurship. Because I think for me, I work still in let's not say corporate America, but I still work. So I feel like I can date a person who's an entrepreneur and understand like, okay, their hours are not my hours, but as long as you're incorporating me and as long as I feel like included in your life, then I'm okay with that. I can live my life and you can live your entrepreneur life and we can meet in the middle somewhere.
Right.
Like,
so what I feel like is going to always be harder for a man to understand if a woman's the entrepreneur and he works a 9 to 5. And
why?
I say I say that because men are already heavy on the overprotective,
heavy on the double standards,
and who's to say, all right, she working 9 to 5, so she got to be going for 2 or 3 days to do something business, like while he home being mad because he working 9 to he get off at 5.
And that's true.
And it's going to always be harder for a man to understand it, like versus a woman, because I feel like we always got to be understanding.
But then that's
like
the
right man. I think it comes down to the right person though. So
where he at? I don't know.
I know.
I don't know.
That I can't.
I don't know where he at.
I don't know where that person is.
I don't know. I've been a 9 to 5er / entrepreneur for the last 3 years and dated niggas that was in the streets, dated niggas that was in corporate America, and dated regular niggas that was entrepreneurs or clocked in and out. Like, so it's all about, attention spans, honestly.
I think it's a balance though too.
A drug dealer is not an entrepreneur.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. But he out there making his money.
He out here making his money, but until a drug dealer starts flipping it, you just providing different drugs to the street. That's not really being an entrepreneur.
But that's what they do. I don't know about the ones in Philly or the ones in certain areas, but that's what they're supposed to do.
That's one source of income. That's not multiple sources of income.
You're supposed to flip it and then have your business that you putting in legally.
That's not a drug dealer though. Once a drug dealer flips his money. Once a drug dealer flips his money, then yes, to me, I would consider you an entrepreneur. Right. You can't just be out here selling pills, coke, crack,
weed,
somebody
can
and then
just
be like, oh, I'm an entrepreneur.
I feel like but I know people like that, so that's why I'm saying you can be a drug dealer and be an entrepreneur.
If you're selling t-shirts, flipping hats.
But that's what I'm saying.
People
say the same thing about that though. If you only sell merchandise, they could say that you're not an entrepreneur because they gotta say you're
a business owner.
I understand, but they're saying if you only sell merchandise, then you're not an entrepreneur because all you do is have one business. Like you have the multiple sources of income, so you only have one thing. So, because that's what you're saying. You're saying that, but you're saying that if you're saying that the street dealer has no true outlet to entrepreneurship, then how does a person who does kind of like one single sided thing, like you just vend, all you do is vend, like how that makes you an entrepreneur? Because
it makes you an entrepreneur because of the other task that goes into it. Like you gotta, when you talking about drug dealers, they don't have no legal ties. They don't have no.
Let's be careful because that's a whole nother realm. But they actually talk about drug dealers being very intelligent because to manipulate the system and then
I know too many drug dealers. Not taking that away from them. I'm just saying.
So I feel
like it don't matter what you sell. If you selling something and you flip it and you making money, you're an entrepreneur.
Okay. That's the definition of a hustler.
Okay.
Yeah, but entrepreneurs are hustlers, correct? Like you gotta be a hustler. You gotta have that mindset to when you do multiple things. So right, you hustle, correct? Right. You hustle. You have to hustle to be an entrepreneur.
So let's take a step back because the first statement was dating a 9-to-5 man versus an entrepreneur. So my question, I guess, to you guys is like, what is your stance? Like, do you have a stance? Like. Because her stance was kind of like, okay, I have a preference. I'm not going to do it.
Right.
So, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that you're okay with whether a man is an entrepreneur or whether he clocks in and out on the clock? Because that's what I think we haven't even discussed that. Like,
I said that earlier. I've dated guys that.
But what's your
preference?
Though? That's what I'm saying.
A preference?
So you're okay with either or? That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I don't have a preference when it comes to any guy I'm dating. And as long as you can keep my attention, and as long as you can, you know what I'm saying, slang. That's all that matters.
Do you have a preference?
I don't have a preference, but I do prefer somebody to be able to be a man and financially do what he's supposed to do as a man. Whether you work a 9-to-5 or not, no, you cannot make less than me. No, I'm sorry.
Period.
Oh, you can't make less than me. Okay,
no.
And what about
if the 9-to-5, if you make more than me in a 9-to-5, okay. But if you don't, then
you got to figure out something.
You got to figure out something.
You need some extra income, guys.
I don't know.
What about you? What you doing?
Yeah, for me, it's the person. So I can't even, like, I don't say it doesn't matter what you do. I do need somebody who does something legal. Like, you have to do something legal when it's on the books. Like, but I know, not even that. I just need, like, I don't know. I want.
So you'll date somebody who makes less than you, and
if he makes you happy.
If he makes you happy, you're all about the person. Is what you're saying. I'm about the person too, the right one.
I mean, but it's like, when you say
qualifications,
right? When we say like less than,
it can't be like
detrimental
amount of less.
Yeah, I feel like it could can't be like below
less.
Below poverty.
She gonna say $100 less.
It can't be below poverty. That's how I feel like you can't be
below poverty.
You can't be struck. Some people don't make a certain amount. Like there's a national poverty line, and some people don't.
So if you don't make
above that
over $35,000, don't hit up Miss Pretty D.
Or me.
I mean,
or anybody.
I mean, you can hit me up and say I got to like that. You know what I'm saying? I got it.
Or me.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm open. I want somebody who's like solid. That's what I want. I want a solid person, not whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a business owner. Because I've talked to a person who I feel like doesn't work a 9-to-5 and they're not really considered like. They're starting their own avenue, but they still have a job. It's just they work remotely. So, and I feel like sometimes what people would like to do is be like, since I work so remotely, I have no set time schedule. Therefore, I cannot incorporate you in proper ways because I have no set time schedule. My clock doesn't work like your clock, you know. And then I notice it too because I'll be places and then they'll contact me like, "What are you doing?" I'm at work. So you know, you may want to talk to me now, or you may say, "Let's go take a walk in the park." And I'm at work, but I don't think it could not work because of that. I think that you have to incorporate people. Anybody you want in your life, you got to incorporate them. So if you're going to be, if I would be so understanding and be like, okay, well, you need to make time to see me on this day, then it's understandable how somebody would be like, man, I can't deal with that in the long run because it's always on their time. Right. But if it's a compromise and it's like, well, hey, I want to see you this day. Hey, I can't see you this day, but how about this day? And it's actually a follow through, and you're actually building with a person.
Communication is always one.
And I think that
be a major factor.
You know, like entrepreneur or.
I just feel like women have to. I feel like women are made to feel like they have to be more understanding than men. So that's why where it goes where I said that. Men sometimes, and not all the time, can like the woman can't be the entrepreneur and he be the 9 to 5 because he's not going to understand.
But you know, I
can't say that.
I just feel like I said sometimes, not all the time.
I know what Danae's saying. What I want to like reflect it to is. With me, I feel like making a set amount of money. If you make, for an example, this don't know the ballpark, for if you make over $80,000, I think a man who does make $45,000 when they come into a situation like that might make them uncomfortable.
Yeah,
it doesn't make
them
uncomfortable.
Insecure.
Yeah, but it might make them uncomfortable. So I do agree. You have to be honest. You have to like
you gotta be
almost
secure
like
with yourself.
lessen yourself down sometimes.
Yeah.
If you feel like you are. If you're all around and
so I feel like there goes to the men. Like sometimes they like a lot of men that were commenting on what B Simone said was like why she don't like downing her because she said she don't want no 9 to 5. Like you're insecure about yourself.
I feel like she one of the things that she said that stuck out was saying like you can't be clocking in and out. And that mindset of clocking in and out is so hard to get out of. Trust me.
Oh,
I've done it.
Yeah,
it's so hard to get out of. And my boyfriend now, he's an electrician. He has a clothing line, and he still has a 9 to 5.
Right.
So at the end of the day,
both sides
that's what I'm saying. But
Right.
that's how I was for the last 3 years
Right.
until I just was like, all right, well I'm done. I'm gonna just be a full-time entrepreneur, focus on that. It's different when you got the mindset of clocking in and out, or when you get to a point where I don't want to work for nobody else, or I don't want to take this, I can't do this. Like that's a mental breakthrough that you have to get through if you actually going to date somebody outside of a 9 to 5 or date somebody that's an entrepreneur and you don't live that lifestyle. Like you have to understand, like mentally, you're not relying on anybody but yourself. You're not relying on the hospital to give you your check. You're not relying on like the mall to give you your check. You're relying on yourself, regardless of whatever it is that you got going on. Like,
so I see. I understand
it.
what you're saying. Like, it's always by any means necessary.
Yeah. Because
it's like at the end of the day, if it's like, okay, I got these bills that are coming in, and I gotta keep my lights on, and like, yeah, it's not a definite set income. It's not like regardless of whether I work these 40 hours or not, I'm going to get this set amount of time every 40 hours.
If you sick, you sick. You know what I'm saying? You don't got no vacation days.
Right.
You can't call out sick. You can't get that money back. Your clients are going to be pissed off pretty much if you be like, oh, I can't ship your order today because I was sick, yada, yada, yada. Maybe not now because of COVID, but niggas going to be pissed off if stuff is delayed. So, yeah, it ain't no, you know what I'm saying, can I come in or can I submit my work tomorrow? Like, it ain't none of that. It's
so,
but to be fair, I have a job where that's my job and that's a job, if that makes sense. It ain't no, can I submit this tomorrow? It's always like a pressing deadline. It's always like, so I can relate to just the understanding the idea of you have to be, I feel like you have to be well-rounded. You have to be a well-rounded individual to like be open to other people's lifestyles in general.
And a lot of people aren't.
Another thing that's the issue is
aren't.
the friendliness, the association, the business associates, the
right. You gotta bring that in. Right.
Right.
But that's what I mean. Like men
the
cannot
social
handle
media,
it.
Like if you constantly on your phone, constantly text messaging,
They
constantly talking to this, that, and the third person. Who you talking to? Who that?
Right.
Like,
You
like,
might get a message or 12 a.m.
Right. It's
Right.
important about transparency because I feel like if there's transparency, then like
it shouldn't really be an issue.
It shouldn't be an issue, but it can be.
But I think you guys should be able to work through them, if that makes sense. If you're being transparent and you're being honest, and it's your state business. I think that the hard part too is sometimes like people just everybody has their ways. People might do shady stuff, and then the way they play it off is, oh no, this is the business person hitting me up,
right?
And then now she got these feelings, and she got you doing something that you something suspicious, and you go, oh no, it's the business.
But I would get irritated with that if I'm handling business and you came in knowing I'm an entrepreneur and you constantly who that. I don't like that. I don't like that if I work a 9 to 5. Don't ask me who I'm texting. Do you trust me or not? Like that's just that. Don't ask me who I'm texting. Don't ask me who hit me up. Don't ask me who I'm look. Don't ask me that.
Well, I think
I don't like that.
As a female, I might inquire about some stuff, but what I won't do is I won't troll through your like Instagram.
I'm not doing it. I learned my lesson.
Be like, oh, who's this girl? Why does she say she put hard eyes under your picture? Like that's
bro. First of all, he likes what he sees.
Especially if you are an entrepreneur.
I'm not doing
promoting the business. You're promoting a brand, so people might say like.
I love this.
Yeah, like you're so lit. Like I wish I could be with you, like or anything like that. And I think sometimes it's just like social media is a whole nother topic. I think it brings in a whole nother presence.
Stay tuned.
Right.
It brings in a whole nother presence of just trying to manipulate basically people's thoughts. I think like that's what social media can do.
All right, so do y'all feel like what she said was wrong or right? Do y'all agree or disagree?
I mean, I can't say I agree with what she's saying.
Why
Because like I said, I don't have a preference. So no, I can't say like I can't date a nigga that clock in and out. No, I can't agree with that because I date a nigga that clock in and out. So no, I don't agree with that.
So I agree with her because I feel like it's all about personal preference. If she says she don't want to date a man who clocks in an hour or 9 to 5 because they're not going to understand her lifestyle, which I agree, they're not. I agree with what she's saying. Like, and everybody has their personal preference. That's like me saying I'm not about to date nobody. I'm 5'1". I'm not about to date a nigga that's 5'2". It's my personal preference. I don't want to date nobody who makes less than me. Is my personal preference. So I don't feel like there's nothing wrong with what she was saying. And the reason she said it, because they're not going to understand her. So no, I don't feel like there's nothing wrong with it.
I agree that it works for her. So I agree that it was her opinion. So she can say whatever she wants to say and feel however she feels because it's her opinion. So I agree that works for her. I don't agree with the statement. Right. So that's how I feel.
Why? What was the statement is I don't want to date a nigga that dates.
So I agree that works for her, but I don't personally agree with that statement. I agree that's what works for her.
But what was the statement? What part of the statement don't you agree with? I
feel like I could date either or is what I'm saying. So if you're saying for me personally,
yeah, that's what
I can date either or, but that's what she wants. So yeah, in that essence, her statement wasn't wrong because that's what she wants for her.
Right.
But I feel like people want to take that and then put it on their situation. And I think that's why so many people like started trolling her and jumped at her inboxes. They feel attacked, and it's just like, well,
nigga, she don't want to date you.
Right. That's what I'm mad about.
If you're mad about something in your life, then change it. That's how I feel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. People jump on stuff and troll stuff because they like.
Right. So that's where I was confused about the amount of grown men who were trolling her because she said she don't want to date 9 to 5. Nobody told you to date. Nobody told you to get that 9 to 5 job. Nobody told you to go out and apply for that
application. But let's be real.
So why are you mad?
We need workers, though. I mean, I agree.
We do.
But we need somebody out of work.
Yeah.
So it's them.
But nobody told you to do that. To want to attack a woman for saying she don't want you. Or somebody who does what you do.
Right.
Why? You're grown. You're
that's a whole other topic on them possibly feeling demasculized. So
yeah. You don't feel like a man because you work a 9 to 5. There's nothing wrong with that. She just don't want you.
Listen,
she don't want you, and that's that.
She basically saying she don't want nobody that clock in and out. So if you clock in and out, you
ain't for her.
The table with her. That's it.
That's it.
How you upset?
But you might sit at my table. You know it's okay.
That's okay.
You can clock in and out if you're making $100,000 a year. You can sit at my table. That's cute.
Yeah.
But
thank you for tuning in because this is about all we got to say about this.
Be smoking have her 9 to 5 niggas or none, and we're gonna have ours.
We don't even know if she having a career right now for all the stuff she done did. So, but thank you for tuning in, y'all. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.